We are really shifting from an analog world to a digital world where everything around us is being digitized. You need to have some kind of verification of the data. So we use blockchain as a notary because you can timestamp events and you can attach metadata to this timestamp. That means who has done what, where, when. So you have understanding of what's happening and insurance of immutability, which gives a lot of trust in the data. So if you are building a digital infrastructure, you want to have that traceability and trust, which blockchain brings.
And how does this affect the user, the citizen of the...
It doesn't really affect them directly. It will be more on the back end side. It's like the internet protocol, really affected by the internet protocol, or rather you are affected by the effect of having a not decentralized internet protocol. You can see it with the GAFAM, as we call them, like those big giant techs that are centralized entities that control our data right now. So we are affected by this infrastructure, but on our day-to-day basis, we use social media without really thinking about it. But once we decentralize that infrastructure, it gives more power to the creator of the data because they are protected somehow that the data won't be used to their detriment. So it's a big change that's not super visible on the outside. It goes from behind, but then in the long run, it's very beneficial for society as a whole.
Yeah, I meant indirectly. Do you believe that, say, so like the adoption of blockchain worldwide will be more kind of invisible, like less visible to the user?
Yes.
Do you think the general public needs to be educated on blockchain, or it's okay to just be behind the scenes?
I think we need a lot of education because we need a lot of manpower to build those ecosystems. So
talent pool.
Yes. So I think it's important to talk about it, and it's important to form people and train people about it because it's a big paradigm shift. It's a big change in a way that we are not used to share data. Our society is built on competition and not on collaboration. And blockchain is mostly a collaborative technology, and we have to build the incentives for sharing data and the protection and kind of the same function that we have in the traditional world. We need to be able to do the same thing, which means when it comes to an asset, it means the custody of this asset, it means the transfer of this asset, the collateralization of this asset. So we need to be able to perform the same thing as the traditional world on blockchain. And that requires new skills, new talent, like you say. So we need to really form people and talk about it.
Okay. And so not directly, but indirectly, these blockchain AI smart cities, what will citizens see? What might change in their life in the long term?
It will alleviate a lot of their daily considerations. That means it will allow a more seamless organization in the city where it's going to be more intuitive, more predictive, and we will have less to worry about small things because AI would be there to propose us some outcomes. So by verifying the data constantly and having AI giving us outcomes, humans will be able to spend more time on more important things.
Leisure activities.
Leisure, but creativity, exactly. Than what we are right now, dealing on our everyday struggle that we all hate to do in our everyday lives. AI would simplify a lot of that.
Will it mean less paperwork?
Yes.
Fewer forms?
Yes, exactly.
Great.
More intuitive.
Yeah. Do you have any specific examples? I think I read about the potential for utility bills to settle themselves. I don't know if that's likely.
Yes, you will have probably buildings talking to each other, spaces organizing themselves for depending on who is moving where. having the ability to know when you come in a space, if it's safe, if the water quality is good, if the air quality is good on instant basis. You will have also order management that will be fulfilled more easily, because you will know inventories exactly at the right moment, so you will be able to have like instant fulfillment of orders.
How will we know this instantly? Are we talking apps?
Because, like I said, if you make a habit of recording data and validating data, then you don't spend the time to verify it. And that's what takes time when you want to make a decision. If you know what you see is true, you can make a decision instantly. So it's more flawless in the organization overall.
But how would somebody who's not into tech access this information?
It's just by the means of being able to validate information. And nowadays with our phones, we can use pictures, we can use videos, we can use scan to assess the state of things. And that would automatically update itself with our phones. I think the phones will be the real vector to this new data validation and exchange.
Yeah. So I was going to say, I think traditionally, potentially, the smart cities focused a lot on IoT, so Internet of Things.
Yes.
Which is, for our listeners, is a network of physical objects, like devices or vehicles or appliances that all can talk to each other, all connected.
Right.
So, but now we are, I know we've got this intersection, I guess, of Internet of Things and blockchain. They work together well, do they, in the smart cities then to verify, like you said? So
yes, absolutely. So Internet of Things is called also Internet of Objects. That means object that can record data, and the blockchain can be used to automate contracts. So that means if you know that A and B exist, then C and D can occur. That means you can program things to happen when specific outcomes are reached. So objects can, like a fridge can fill itself, this kind of things.
So like coding, but the real world.
Yes.
You've got your conditional.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds great. Do you have any more like specific examples? Like I read again about power grids.
Yes.
But the poles can speak to each other in case. I'm not sure how that would work.
That's a very good example. We need to protect the energy consumption, or reduce the energy consumption, or at least make a better use of energy. And in the energy grid, you have peaks of consumption of energy. And at times, you have a lot of people that want to use the energy at the same time. And you are able now with the energy grid to rebalance the energy consumption depending on the hours where people are at home. And you have to be incentivized when you are using the energy grid a little more when people are using it less, and vice versa. So the energy can be balanced through buildings depending on who is using it, and you need to incentivize people not to push too much when everybody is using the energy. And so you have to incentivize them by the means of contracts that can be connected to their home or their businesses.
How far off do you think we are from having like fully blockchain smart cities?
I think in Europe, at least, I know the European Commission is working. There are very specific groups working on smart grids, and the energy performance is one of the big topics right now. So I think we're not so far from that in certain cities. In the US, I'm not too sure if the legislation is as advanced as in France, but I think it's definitely something that we can put in implementation in the next 10 years, I think. It's already a topic in cities like Miami, Barcelona, Singapore. I mean, every city is talking about this project. So it's more of a educational thing, and it's more about smart citizens right now than it is more about the devices, because the technology is there, but it's more about talking about those topics because they affect also part of our daily lives and also our privacy sometimes. So it's more about organizing ourselves as citizens that is more important, that will take longer because it's an education thing. So you can force things very fast because technology is there and cities are talking about it, but I think it will take time before we can really implement it. So I would say a window of 10 years before it's really happening.
And would you like to live in one?
Yes, I would rather live in a smart citizen city than a smart city. Then sometimes can be quite scary when it's imposed on people. It has to be a social contract that we use technology for the greater good and not to impose things and imply sort of a digital slavery to people. Because I'm super against that. I want to have a discussion, an open discussion on how we're going to use tech and how it's going to affect our lives. It's very important.
No, that's great. And now just if you can imagine that you're living in a smart city, what for you would just be the most exciting use case? What would make your life 10 times easier?
It's just the flow of your everyday life, that you can arrive in a building and your meeting has been set, the room is filled with information, and you can access files and more intuitively. You can meet new people when you come in a place because the AI, has selected people that you might be interested in meetings. Maybe also you want to buy things and you have a plan for when you need to go somewhere because there is less traffic at this time, and it will tell you, well, you wanted to do that and we find out for you that it's best for you to do it at this specific time, and maybe after you can meet that person because you wanted to meet her and they happen to be here at the same time. So it's just sharing data that we don't have access to, then suddenly comes into our agendas, and then it makes life much easier.
Like alleviate some of your brain
power.
Exactly,
exactly. So you can flow
you can
in the
relax.
city and do exactly what you need to do when you need to do it without being interrupted by the hassle of how I didn't know that was the situation, but then now you know.
Yeah, and you get the best out of every situation.
Yes.
That sounds great.
And you get outcomes. So, okay, if you do that, this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen. So what do you prefer? What is the best outcome for you? So it becomes like almost a game of choosing what's best for you, what the outcome is, and who you can meet.
Gamify the real world.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds great. I think I'll come live there too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for joining me. You've been listening to the Crypto Radio with me, Bo Jablonski, and my wonderful guest, Matthew Mercado. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Crypto Radio. Tune in and feel the glow. Digital coins we grow. All you need to know. The Crypto Radio. Tune in and feel the glow. Digital coins we grow. All you need to know.
Thank you for tuning into the Crypto Radio. I'm your host Kareem, and you're listening to The Pulse. How does one lose millions in crypto? Well, sometimes it's not through hacks or scams. Sometimes it's as simple as misplacing a piece of paper, or in today's first story, possibly having your housekeeper accidentally throw away your fortune.
Crypto Radio.
A well-known YouTube pianist, Lord Venitero, recently lost access to 4 Bitcoins. This isn't just about losing cryptocurrencies. It's a story that teaches us a crucial lesson about digital asset security. Reportedly, Venitero lost the private key to his wallet. A private key is essentially the password that gives us access to his cryptocurrency. The key was written on a paper, which is actually a recommended practice, but was misplaced, possibly discarded during a house cleaning. But here's where the story gets more interesting. This wasn't his first financial setback. He previously made losses in the Brazilian stock market, and like many investors, fell into the trap of panic selling Bitcoin during a market dip. These incidents highlight 2 critical aspects of investing: the importance of secure key management and the role of emotional decision-making while you're investing. You know, losing 4 bitcoins would keep most people up at night, but imagine losing 8,000 of them. And that's exactly where they are, buried under thousands of tons of garbage. That's exactly what's happening in the landfills in Wales, where one man's trash quite literally contains another man's digital treasures. In Wales, James Howells continues his quest to search a landfill for a hard drive containing 8,000 Bitcoin, currently worth an astounding $800 million. This story raises fascinating questions about persistence versus practicality. When does determination become delusion? The environmental impact of searching through a landfill is significant and the costs are enormous. Yet with such a life-changing amount at stake, it's understandable why someone would find it hard to let go. For our listeners considering investing in crypto, here are the essential security practices. Store your crypto private keys offline, but have a secure system for organizing them. Create multiple backup copies stored in different secure locations, and never keep crypto private keys in a digital format or on the cloud. Consider using hardware wallets for significant investments, and most importantly, treat emotional control as your most valuable investment tool. From a pianist's lost paper to a man's quest through trash, these stories remind us that in the wild world of crypto, sometimes our biggest enemy isn't hackers or market crashes. It's ourselves. And maybe, just maybe, our housekeepers. This has been Kareem on the Pulse, where we keep our fingers on the beating heart of crypto. Stay safe, stay smart, and don't forget to back up those keys multiple times. Until next time.
The crypto radio. Tune in and feel the glow. Digital coins we grow. All you need to know. Crypto radio. Tune in and feel the glow. Digital coins we grow. All you need to know.
Hi, I'm Thierry, the founder of the Crypto Radio. I have been helping and supporting people on their crypto journeys for many years, and now I'm excited to launch the Crypto Radio, which carries on my mission. We have built a stellar team of media professionals, and we are all excited to launch this unique concept, an online global radio show dedicated to crypto and blockchain. Join us.
The Crypto Radio's A to Z of crypto and blockchain terms. S for stablecoins. S is for stablecoins. A stablecoin is a cryptocurrency pegged to a stable asset, like fiat currency. They're also gold-backed cryptocurrencies. One example of a stablecoin is Tether, which is backed by the US dollar. As the name suggests, they tend to be more stable than other coins, as they are backed by real-world and less volatile assets. Stablecoins are easy to buy and are listed on most cryptocurrency exchanges, including Binance and Coinbase. For more information on stablecoins, visit thecryptoradio.com.
The Crypto Radio price update. Bitcoin price is $94,456, down by 2.11%. Ethereum price is $3,336.0, down by 1.85%. BNB price is $699.0, down by 0.79%. Solana price is $185.6, down by 2.67% based on the last 24 hours. Curious to know more? Check out thecryptoradio.com.
The crypto radio. Tune in and feel the glow. Digital coins we grow. All you need to know.
Hello and welcome to